Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my casting of the Priory of the Orange Tree book if it were to have a show or movie adaptation. Now, before we start, I know that everyone has in their head their own image of every single character, even the setting and all that stuff. Personally, sometimes I can't watch casting videos because if they cast my favorite character wrong, I'm like, so if I cast it incorrectly, my bad. Okay, my bad. This is just what I think, what was in my head. And I'm gonna put pictures of the actors also on the screen so that we can share and talk about their appearance, because really what this casting is gonna be is 100% based off looks, not so much their acting capabilities. We'll start with Eid. For Eid, I think that, don't be mad. Don't be mad. Bailey Bass. I think Bailey Bass fits the physical description that the book gives us about Eid. I think Bailey Bass is stunning. I think she would do really good in a warrior role. The only thing I've seen from her is that second Avatar movie that came out earlier this year. But based off physical attributes, for Tane is Sam my favorite character? Minnie Mills, correct. We have seen her in The Summer I Turned Pretty. She almost was like a background character. I feel as though I would love to see her in like a warrior role, like damaged goods role. You slap a fishhook looking scar on her face and she's Tane. Like, she is Tane. Okay, for Loth, Alfred Enoch, I'm not sure, but Alfred, we've seen a little bit of him in How to Get Away with Murder, so I know he can act scared. I know he can play a sweet character. I know that he can be the low-key mastermind of what's going on. He's got the acting skills for that. Plus, this is kind of what Loth looked like in my head. Probably a little bit more rugged, probably a little bit more square head, like more wide. Stop, he's like cute. Okay, so Loth, I mean, it makes sense to me. Okay, while we're talking about Loth, Margaret Jazrae Coyle. Now, I have no idea who she is. I found her somehow, and this is what Margaret looked like in my head. Like the hair, the face, just the cute everything. That's what Margaret looked like. So I feel as though if we're going just off physical looks, this would be perfect casting in my book. It would be perfect. The Prioress. Ileana de Cruz. Okay, now, also about her. I think she's a Bollywood actress. I don't know how I stumbled upon her, but she gives I'm the boss. She gives I'm in charge. I can see her with Eid in the room before the thing got taken and that thing happened, you know? Okay, Sabrin. This might ruffle some feathers. For Sabrin, I picked Adelaide Kane. Okay, wait. We'll slap some green contacts in her and it's literally Sabrin. The soft features, the hair, everything is beautiful. Like, this is Sabrin. Everything about her is exactly what I imagined Sabrin looking like in my head. Someone just slap some green contacts in this girl and we'll call it a day. This is ideal. This is like a perfect casting. For Chasar, Cliff Curtis. So originally, it was not Cliff Curtis. I was looking at actors and I felt like everyone I came across was too clean. I feel like Chasar has a certain rugged edge to him, even though he is like grandpa vibe, you know, like love him so much. And so when I saw Cliff, I was like, yeah, the rugged edge is there. Like, usually with movies they can add that rugged edge in, but with Cliff it's there and it's giving already. Okay, for Sousa, I have such a soft spot for Sousa. Miss Zhang, sorry. I'm not even gonna try the name because I don't want to sound like an arrogant stupid. She's from the Ten Rings movie. She played the sister. She delivered on her role so violently well. For Sousa, I feel like Sousa is almost like that silent warrior that like did what she had to do. I know she would kill it. I know she would do an amazing job at portraying Sousa. I feel like she does such a good job at acting without words. Her eyes, her mannerisms, her movement, her face, it was everything was there. So Niklaze. Okay, I almost didn't want to cast Niklaze because I feel like I don't want to hate someone in real life, you know? But I think I found someone very perfect. Elijah Wood, but plumper, a lot plumper. Elijah Wood would do an amazing job. He's got that schizophrenic look behind his eyes that I know Niklaze has in real life. He's got that crazy edge to him, even just visually, and like, no offense, Mr. Wood, but like even just visually, you're like uncomfortable looking at him, and that's exactly what the actor who portrays Niklaze would have to do. I would cast him as Niklaze. Terosa. For him, I was also scared to cast because I didn't want to pick someone that I feel like would just make it interesting, because at the beginning of the book, I honestly kind of was thinking Tane and Terosa were gonna end up entangled in some romantic situation at some point, because I'm an enemies to lovers girl, and that definitely caught my eye. Anytime there's enemies, I'm there. I'm there. So originally I thought they were going to end up together, but I didn't want to pick someone cute for the casting because I didn't want to portray what wasn't actually there in said movie or whatever. Jack Gleeson. I saw some of his work in, what was it? In Game of Thrones, and you know what? If I'm being honest, he's got a very hateable face. And Terosa, I hated his character so much that if it weren't for my hope holding out that him and Tane were going to change, like switch their dynamic from enemies to lovers, I would have genuinely been so overtaken by my hatred of him. So I think that Mr. Gleeson would do a great job because he plays such a good, annoying person and villain in Game of Thrones. Okay, for Kaliba. Now, Kaliba looks like Sabrin, obviously, but in her ginger era, Famke Janssen. She looks a little scary. There's something off-putting about her. There's some energy that you find questionable. So I know she would do a great job at playing Kaliba. Originally, I had thought Amy Adams because the ginger hair obviously made me think of her. And Amy Adams also has this certain uneasy chill to her that I feel like would do very well with portraying Kaliba, but Famke Janssen fits better in my head, so it was between those two. I picked Famke. The Don Mata Morosa. This is important to Loth, which means it's important to me. For her, I'd cast Kaya Scaldelario. Obviously, we've seen her work in The Maze Runner. I think that she has such a natural beauty. And her eyes obviously are like extremely piercing. That's just what she looked like in my head when Loth had described her physical characteristics in the book. And I feel like she plays the scared but powerful character very well. So yeah, True-Eyed. Okay, rest in peace girl, Katie Findlay. Do I know who this is? No. Someone just dye her hair a little bit lighter brown and get on with it. She looks like True-Eyed. Soul Yard. Okay, I thought Chad Michael Murray, but with his long hair. With his long, raggedy, dirty, greasy hair for Jan Art. It was hard to pick someone who would really only be in the story through memories and flashback, and that is extremely also low-key unhinged. Jared Leto. Obviously, he's like scary unhinged in real life. For this role, I think that Jared Leto would play a really good, like, mad scientist. I feel like also seeing Jared Leto and Elijah Wood together would be a trip. And I think that Elijah Wood would do a good job at depicting this, like, crazy, obsessed partner. Especially, I feel like if it's Jared Leto. I'm sad, but for Kit, Taron Egerton, he's so cute. Kit is so cute, and I feel like he'd do such a good job at depicting like the soft side of Kit, the letters that he would write, the stupid poetry that he would just recite to Loth. I think he would do a good job. And I also think that this person is so lovable, like just even physically, they're so cute that I feel like in this hypothetical, the audience watching the movie or show would really feel a loss when Kit passes away, because it's so easy to obsess over him. Igraine Crest. This is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like if you pick anyone else, you're deluded. Cate Blanchett. She definitely has that crazy, like, teetering on the edge, psycho situation going on with her eyes. I know she can play scary. I feel like she can play scary. But I also feel like she can play comforting. And I know she can play mother, you know? So I feel like that would be a really good fit, especially because I know she's a good actress. And she's gonna get the job done. And she's gonna get us to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. If you disagreed, my bad. Let me know in the comments who you would have changed up, who you would have picked ideally. I just finished reading Icebreaker about a week ago, so I'll have a review up for that soon, because I have a lot of thoughts also, as per usual, but especially for that book. I think I'm gonna do some more book-related content. I think castings are fun. I don't really ever watch them, again, because sometimes they annoy me, but I don't know, maybe people like watching them.